The big match is about to get underway tonight.
It's must win, must win, must win. Only on the Plot Malaysia.
Hello, welcome to the Plot Malaysia. This is episode 105. Happy New Year. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans.
Woohoo! Happy New Year, Hari. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, Rama. Very happy New Year to you as well, man. You look like you're just about recovering.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean,
Recovering.
hopefully it's a far better year for all of us. And yeah, wishing all viewers a very, very happy New Year from the Plot Malaysia as well.
Absolutely. And thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. And of course, we are not alone. We have a very, very special guest. Now, Hari, do you want to do the honors of introducing this special guest of ours today?
Absolutely, guys. He's not a first timer. He's been on our show before. Probably one of our best episodes, which was the build-up, the Poolman show build-up to the Man United Liverpool game. A hardcore Liverpool fan, none other than Giri. Hey, welcome, Giri.
Hey, hi guys.
Hello, Giri. Welcome back on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. On behalf of KL Copides and our firm JW and Partners, I'd like to wish the both of you all very happy New Year and thank you for having me on this show.
Hey, likewise, Giri. Very
happy New Year to you, Giri. Happy New Year.
Hey, at our age, when we recover, it always takes a bit longer. So I can understand glazed eyes, and it's terrible when New Year's Eve falls on Friday, because these days on Saturday, then it just cut blood to continue.
Yep. Last year it took me 2 days to recover. This year it's taking me 3 days.
You've aged by an extra year there.
Don't worry, Ram. When you come to my age, it takes few more days to recover, and then you'll be making resolutions. I'm never going to do this again, only to break the resolution in the same week. So let's not make any
I agree.
Hey, you're spot on. Well, when the New Year falls on a Friday, it becomes a dragged on New Year's Eve.
It just becomes protracted for absolutely no reason.
And you probably just count down to everything like then. So
I forgot there was actually football last night.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I actually missed the Arsenal Man City game. Okay, not that we can ever count on Arsenal to do anything for us anyway.
Yeah. But
I forgot completely.
But to be fair, that was one cracker of a game. Like I know, it just sort of.
I watched the game again today, and I thought Arsenal were robbed. They were robbed.
They played so well. Yeah, they played
very
well.
They really deserve to win that game.
I 100% agree. And I mean, just for viewers, very quickly, guys, just to show you the fixtures coming up. But the first one, obviously, the Arsenal-Man City game, the early kickoff yesterday. City turned out winners. We'll talk about that in a short while. Spurs got a last gasp winner against Watford as well. And I think it's Conte is unbeaten in the league since he's come in for Spurs. West Ham 3, Crystal Palace 2. Almost a comeback by Palace, but it didn't quite materialize. And then the rest of the games, obviously, some of them are games that have been postponed. The big game we're going to be talking about is Liverpool-Chelsea, and we'll get into that very, very shortly. But let's very quickly start off with that game actually yesterday, Gary, since you brought it up. I watched that game not having much hope, just like you guys as well. But I've actually been an advocate for Arsenal this year, especially after they brought in some of these signings, and I started looking at the shape of the team, and I was quite impressed by their signings and their players actually. And I thought they'll be a dark horse to take that Champions League spot. And I thought a true test was against this Man City side. Now that they have been in a run of good form as well, Arsenal, and winning quite a number of games. And I thought they put on a really good showing. In fact, I'm going to go as far as to say, I mean, even Liverpool have played City so far this season, but I actually think Arsenal gave City the hardest game of any team in the league so far this year.
Absolutely. They didn't let City dominate, the tempo, and the whole match. In fact, if you ask me, Arsenal had better share of the possession. They moved City around, like City has never been moved around. And they really should have got something out of that game. I think that penalty claim should have been reviewed properly by VAR.
Yep.
See, the whole problem with VAR is inconsistency. Sometimes
Yep.
the referee goes and has a look, and sometimes he's not being asked to have a look. Okay,
Yep.
I think the City goalkeeper made contact with the Arsenal player's foot before he got to the ball. That's a clear penalty. No two
Yep.
ways about it.
I
I mean,
agree.
he's doing this because
I thought at least it should have been sent for review just to
it
maintain
should have been sent for
consistency.
review. It should have
And
been
it
sent for review.
and it reminded me so much of the Liverpool game against Spurs, where I
Correct.
felt we were robbed. I mean, I know Spurs
Correct.
gave a good account
Same
of
thing.
themselves, but I
Same
thought we
thing.
were robbed in that game because
Same thing.
Harry Kane was such a clear-cut red card, and it was not even reviewed.
Correct. Correct.
And that was a leg breaker. And then after that, there was I think there was a penalty claim as well that was turned down for Liverpool.
Correct.
Wasn't it, in that game? I think it was Jota. Who was, and everyone who saw that game, pundits alike, said it was a stonewall penalty. Again, not
Correct.
reviewed, and the Robertson challenge was reviewed. So it just, I mean, it may sound like sour grapes, but it just seems a bit unfair because everything seems to be going against the likes of Liverpool and some of the other
Absolutely.
chasing.
They might as well
sides.
just take the trophy and give it to Manchester City now itself.
I'm actually gonna bring up another one. I don't know if you guys saw that game against Man City against Wolves, where I thought Wolves were brilliant in that game. Barely gave
Correct.
a chance to City, and City won because of a penalty which didn't even hit. I think Moutinho on the hand. It hit him on the armpit or the chest.
Correct.
Yeah.
And
But-
again,
but
it
since-
wasn't
but-
reviewed.
But since we have a Man United fan here, what is the difference between what Harry Kane did and what Paul Pogba did when United played us? Because Pogba got a red card for it.
Yeah.
What is
Pogba
the
got red card and he
difference between
deserved it.
what Paul Pogba did and what Harry Kane did? It's
I
exactly
think
the
it's both
same.
the same. It's
They're
the same thing.
exactly the same tackle.
Yep, absolutely agree with you, and I was surprised as well because when one team gets a red card for an equally rash challenge,
Correct.
which was deservedly so, and of course now the other player does it, he should be also following suit. The
Correct.
referee should also follow suit, but
And I think-
it just
and
shows very unfair.
And I think in last night's Arsenal game, I think the referee lost the plot because after that incident, which never went to review, he just became trigger happy with his yellow cards
Yeah,
Yeah,
for Arsenal players.
yeah.
You
I
know,
agree.
and City only got their first yellow card right late in the game.
yep,
And it wasn't even a game where Arsenal were like defending deep in their box. I thought they
Oh, they were
approached
taking the
with
game.
right.
They were taking
approached
the game to City.
well.
Yeah.
They were breaking
Correct.
City with pace. Their passing was. I thought Martinelli was brilliant. Actually, I'm a big fan
Excellent.
of him.
He was
I thought
excellent.
He was
But
absolutely
sad that he
brilliant.
missed the chances. He could have scored 2 goals, man. He was.
Correct.
He had an open goal that he
Yeah.
blasted against the post, I think.
Yeah.
But overall, I think I really rate the guy. I think he's a terrific player, and I thought he gave João Cancelo a nightmare. And then, but of course, Saka on the other side was brilliant. Odegaard was great. Even Partey in the middle, I thought was pretty good as well through the game. And I thought they really played well. They were hitting City in the right areas, and then that penalty decision in the first half, and then the penalty in the second half, kind of threw the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Harry.
I mean, I'm going to say like
Harry.
Shaka is a bit of a time bomb. He does stupid things, but even then,
Correct.
I thought it was a bit of a dive by Silva. He just threw himself to the floor,
Correct.
which I thought was a bit,
Harry, this is the first time Manchester United fans and Liverpool fans are agreeing.
yes.
That means 2022 has started on a good note.
Yes.
Oh yes, because all even numbers, right? So that's why maybe.
The enemy of my friend is my friend.
yes.
So we have common ground here.
No, exactly, man. Let's see how long it goes on for. Like, probably, I think midway through the show, there's going to be disagreement already. That's what I predict.
True.
Okay, but at least as of now, things seem to be going in the right direction. Yeah, I agree with you, man, Eugene. I thought refereeing decisions very questionable. Not just yesterday. I think it's been poor throughout the season.
Throughout,
yeah.
And the use of VAR has been atrocious. Actually, not used in the right way.
If you guys agree with me, I think the whole VAR should be abolished, in my opinion. Number one. Second thing is, when it comes to all these offside decisions that VAR takes over by the millimeters of deciding, I think that should also, not come into the hands of VAR. It should just be left on the referee as a decision. I think so many decisions were just stupid by VAR, to be honest.
Actually,
Only in
I'm not against the offside thing.
Only in England. I like the way VAR is used, okay, in international tournaments, in Europe and all. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay? Only in England.
Yeah.
For the Euro, I think the Euros, it was used brilliantly. It was used brilliantly
Yeah.
in World Cup
Fantastic.
as well.
World Cup was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only in England.
That's the thing.
people
That is the
manning the
thing.
VAR booth have been the ones letting us down. And I know it's a
Yep.
problem, Giri. The problem is the fact that City, as it is, are a perfect machine. They don't seem to drop points. When there's a glimmer of hope of them dropping points, if they get these decisions, then I think it's a pointless league, lah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to be a procession for them till they actually lift the trophy. I think.
Let me ask you guys, Giri especially, do you have the slightest feeling that City would have just come towards the end and just rob Arsenal of the win? Did you think that was actually going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the game, but when I watched it today, somewhere in about the 70th, 80th minute, okay, I foresaw, okay, one decision going their way, and that was going to be it. To be
And
honest,
and do you think that's going to happen like throughout all their games? I think it looks like a pattern in it. I just see this like
no, I think
that.
these things only happen during this. You see, I mean, we are in an entertainment industry. This
Yep.
is not the sporting industry; it's an entertainment industry. And the
Yep.
Christmas period, jam packed with games, broadcasting, talking points. The Fleet Street guys need to have their fair share of punditry and stories and things like that. But once, League and Champions League resumes in February,
Mm.
then it's a bit different. I think. Okay, I mean, I don't know whether the referees. I wouldn't call them biased, lah. Okay, I think they are
Mm.
incompetent,
Yeah.
which is worse than bias.
Yep.
They're just incompetent. They just do not know how to. They try to get too involved with the game.
Hmm.
The best referee is somebody who doesn't is somebody who officiates the match and nobody remembers who the referee was at the end of the game. That's the best referee.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You understand?
That should be.
Okay,
Yeah. Correct.
but
Correct. Yeah.
English referees tend to become the talking point, but they don't owe any accountability to anybody, to stakeholders, I mean, forget fans. Okay,
Yep.
they are not expected to come on television and explain their decisions.
Yep.
Whereas everybody else who criticizes them gets fined by the FA. So it's one way
Yep.
street for them. I think there
True.
needs to be some kind of check and balance, okay, on the whole refereeing thing, because there's a lot of money involved in this.
True. I totally agree with you. Agree. And to all of you viewers out there who have your own views in terms of the game against, for Arsenal against Man City, do let us know in the comments. What do you think? Do you
Yeah,
think
let us
Arsenal
know.
was robbed? Yep.
Give us your thoughts on the game.
Yep.
Do you think they were robbed? What do you think about VAR and the referee
Yep.
decisions of late and the use of
Yep.
VAR? Actually, it's more the use of VAR. Technology is there to help you, but you're not using it in the right way, then it's a bit pointless, and you get some buffoons manning
Yeah.
the VAR booth,
Yep.
then it's a bit of a pointless exercise. So that was a shame. Arsenal, I thought, really impressive, and I'm going to say this again. I've been really impressed by them recently.
Yep.
I actually think they're a strong contender for top four now. It's between them and Spurs, in my opinion, actually. Both sides on the up. I think one of them will clinch it. And yeah, the other thing that's impressive is I think they gave City the toughest game so far this season. I'm saying this even as a Liverpool fan. I thought they approached the game in the right way. So yeah, we'll move on from the game to the big preview tonight. Now, to be honest, I still don't know if this game is even going to happen or not because we're so used to
I heard it is.
so far, yeah, but we're so
Yeah.
used to last-minute postponements, and Liverpool is obviously having a bit of a COVID outbreak now in the squad.
Yeah,
Chelsea the same. So I don't know if anything's going to change, but what a game this promises to be. It would have been even more spectacular if Man City had dropped points yesterday. If they had dropped any points yesterday, significance of this game would have been amplified by another 10 times, I think. It's a shame they didn't. But nonetheless, I think it's a must-win game for both sides, isn't it, Gary? Is it fair to say that?
For us, yes, because we need to stay 6 points behind City.
Yep.
If we drop points here, okay, the you see in a competition whereby there are 2-3 sides competing, okay, this was a straight shootout between us and City. We'll know exactly where we are. When you have 2-3 teams, okay, competing, and one has taken a lead, okay, you can't just expect that team to drop points. You also have to expect the ones around you to drop points. So it becomes your theory of averages basically goes out of the window. So we just need to win this game. I don't care how beautiful it is, how ugly it is. Okay, I'll take a 1-0 accidental goal. Okay, in the 92nd minute.
I will take a dodgy VAR decision in our favor for a penalty to give us the win this time. I've got no issues. Give us a dodgy VAR
Absolutely
penalty.
none at
I'll
all.
take it.
I think we are due one.
Well, guys, I have to say that, all that, nice to see both of you all rooting for Liverpool to win this game. As you know me, I'm hoping for a draw. I'm hoping for a Chelsea to beat Liverpool.
Let me ask you this again. So obviously some team news team news for our viewers out there as well.
Yeah,
I mean, as you know, both sides have got COVID-related issues in the squad. Chelsea have
yeah.
got even injury issues. I think Thiago Silva is possibly out. Maybe
Yep.
Christensen is out. Reece James is out. Ben Chilwell is out for the season. So they're short a wing back. I think Kovacic is back though. Kante is back. Lukaku is back, but obviously he's just gone and exploded in an interview now, saying he wants to
Yeah,
go back
yeah.
to
Inter,
Milan.
Inter Milan. Yeah.
So that's I
Mhm.
don't know what's happening there, but it's kind of thrown Tuchel off there as well. And I don't know if he's going to play in this game or he may be dropped. You never know. On the Liverpool side, what looked like a promising start with all Chelsea's issues is now, I mean, it's kind of leveled the playing field up because I think Alisson is out with COVID. I think Firmino is out, and apparently there's a third player who's rumored to be Jota, but we don't know. Who's possibly out as well. Minamino is out injured. Thiago is out with a hip injury again. Robertson is suspended. Divock Origi is out. So yeah, we are decimated by injuries across the.
I think we're gonna, we probably need to call them the tea ladies, okay, to boost the squad today.
I think
Can you
we'll be
just
okay.
imagine? And can you just imagine if we beat Chelsea, okay, having played the tea ladies and the gardeners and the whoever that plays? But really, I can either be depressed at 6 o'clock in the evening before the match, or I can say let's throw caution to them. Because one thing I can tell you, no matter who we put, okay, the quality may drop, but the style of play will be the same.
The
I
system is there.
absolutely agree.
The system has
And,
already
and,
been played. So whoever we play the same thing. And
Yep.
our problem, even if you look at last season, Hari, was not that we were not playing with that intensity. We were just not taking our chances. Even in the Leicester game, had we scored that penalty and if Mane had, decided not to go completely bananas, okay, and send that ball over, we would have won that game.
I
The
agree.
Spurs game was there for our taking as well.
Yep.
We just did not capitalize when we had the chances.
And that was a Spurs game where we were missing a ton of players. Like I think we were playing
Correct.
Morton in central midfield
Correct.
as well, and we were playing
Correct.
away from home. So I was, I think we still gave a very good account of ourselves. So I think we're still playing well, no matter who plays. The
Yeah.
issue I have, and Giri, I want your thoughts on this. Two things actually. One is what was very evident in the game against Leicester. I thought
Leicester.
was there was one player who made a big impact. His absence, and I thought was Thiago Alcantara.
Absolutely.
Because I thought they were rushing into a lot of things at times.
Yes.
The control of the game is not the
Yes.
same when Thiago
Yes.
and Fabinho are in the team.
Yes.
And I felt this from the start of the season. The moment they are not in the team, Thiago's not in the team. There's no control to a certain extent. We play well,
Absolutely.
but then we also feel there's always a feeling we're going to concede a goal. Someone's going to break on us. They're going to score because we don't have proper control of the
Yeah.
midfield. So I don't know. Is that the similar? Is that how you feel as well?
I think we have a fairly thin squad to start with. Okay, so fatigue affects us in a lot of ways. The boys tried. I wouldn't say they never tried. They tried, but you could see heavy legs. So passes were going astray, and more than physical fatigue, I think it's the mental fatigue.
Yeah, I'm not going to use. I'm not going to use fatigue as an excuse here because I thought Leicester. In fact, we had a rest. I think Leicester played 2 days beforehand, and they had about 9 players
Absolutely.
out or something like that. Yeah,
Absolutely. We should have played the squad that beat them, okay, in the League Cup, because they played pretty much the same team in the League Cup, and our intensity in the league match was far greater than in the League Cup match was far greater than in the league match. So I'm not too pensive about tonight's game, because even if we played a lot of the youngsters, okay, Chelsea will have to actually play a makeshift squad as well.
Yep.
So I expect this game to go like we don't care. We need both teams need a result to stay in contention.
Yeah,
So
because Chelsea came off a draw and Liverpool came out a defeat. So
That's
I think
right.
both teams.
I don't want to speculate on what's happening in Chelsea, but I think they also play in a particular kind of system, and they have quite a deep squad to call on. I wouldn't be too perturbed about how they play. Only question is whether we have enough to handle the 90 minutes. Because this is going to be decided. I think this game is going to be decided. I could be wrong. This game is going to be decided, okay, by one fluke chance somewhere along the way.
Yeah.
Hari and Giri, just a quick question. How is Liverpool doing on the side of playing in Stamford Bridge lately? Have they been having good records, or does Chelsea have a better record over Liverpool? What's the story?
Actually, I think I mean, Giri, correct me if I'm wrong. I think we've had a decent record at Stamford Bridge of late.
Yeah.
I know there was Henderson's winner. I think we won there. I think we won there last year as well, isn't it? 2-0 or something.
Yeah. Oh, the game where that was the game where their goalkeeper imploded and
Yeah,
after okay, but it's kind of I mean the bridge has never been a comfortable place
yeah,
for us to go. Even if I
yeah,
go back to the Mourinho days and stuff like that, the bridge was always quite a powerful environment. But
Mm.
we have never really struggled. I mean, there were times we got thumped by Chelsea, okay, at the bridge. I mean, that was a damn long time ago. In recent times, okay, I think the way Chelsea plays at the bridge, particularly, okay, because it's quite a tight environment at the bridge. We have had more draws than actual victories.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I mean, Chelsea and Liverpool tend to cancel each other out because of the way in which they are set up. You know, in the Conte years, especially, it was very difficult playing with him because he brought attrition into the game, which other Chelsea managers didn't do.
yeah.
At least not since Mourinho. Mourinho was able to bring attrition to the game. I think Tuchel okay, has done a fantastic job with them. Okay,
Yeah.
given the egos, okay, and how he has managed the egos. I don't know what has currently happened, but I think Liverpool should go there, and if we just play the way we played in the last three games, forget the results. If we just play the way we played the last three games, we will come away with a win from Stamford Bridge. Not a problem.
I mean, I feel the same way as well. The concern is a couple of things. I mean, apart from Thiago, as I mentioned, just to highlight to you guys why I'm talking about the Thiago effect as well. There's a record that's going around, a stat going around. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but Thiago and Fabinho, when they have started in midfield together, Liverpool have never lost.
Never
I
lost
think
there.
it's 15 games or something. They're 14
Yeah.
draws and 14 wins and one draw or something like, which is a phenomenal record. So it shows you the
Yep.
control they have when the both of them are together in there. The other one I'm going to point out to now, if Jota is missing, Jota and Firmino, then we have a bit of a problem because Sadio Mane, and I want your thoughts on this, Gary, as good a player as he has been for us, I feel he's been in a bit of a downward spiral for the last year or so. This year he started off well this season, but he's snatching at chances. His control seems to be deserting him as
Too
well.
much time.
He loses the
If
ball
you
quite
ask
often.
me, all these chances that he has wasted, too much time. Mane is the kind of guy, very instinctive kind of forward. Okay,
Yep,
tight spaces, one turn, hit.
yep,
But when he has to take 3-4 steps with the ball and all, he tends to lose it. You know,
yep,
and I mean, I got no qualms about him. I still think to score 100 goals for Liverpool, okay, over 4-5 seasons. You're a 20 goal a season striker, so he will get his form back. You know, but
Mm.
I think there's a bit of tiredness and frustration. You know, when you're competing against City, a lot of things go through your mind. You're
no,
trying
of
to be
course,
too
yeah,
perfect. He's trying to be
yeah,
too perfect sometimes, and when he tries that, that's when he makes his mistakes. You know, I know it sounds kind of stupid to say that somebody is trying too hard. You know, you
yep.
want players to try hard, but I think we must remain calm. We must
I mean,
remain calm
Simba has got a great
because
point
City
here.
will
That's
drop
Sadio
points.
Mane.
City will drop points.
Uh,
City has to play United. United will want to play, okay, in the Champions League. Okay, United will win that game.
Mm.
There are other teams like Spurs who want to get into the Champions League. When they play City, okay, I mean, City has played all the away games, but their stadium is not like ours. You know, they can't really count on their fans anyway, so they count on their players. You know, I
yeah,
mean, finally they got more points than fans. You
yeah.
see, so I think this is not over by any stretch. I mean, it looks compelling that they are going to win the league, but stranger things have happened.
No, I mean, if they go through any sort of injury crisis like any of the other teams can happen as well, you never know, and then
Correct, correct. You never
things will
know.
flip.
You
Yep.
never
Simba
know.
has got
Great
a
point by
great
Simba.
Simba
Yep.
has got a great point here. The game is going to be decided by Sadio Mane winner. It's written all over it according to him. I'll go
Absolutely,
ahead and pin my comment.
absolutely,
Yeah. And I think
absolutely.
Mane has a good record at the bridge as well, actually. If I'm not
Yep.
mistaken, I think he's got a good record at the bridge. He always has a good game there. So hoping he does, because without Jota, who in my opinion is been a real slaughter, Jota the slaughter. He's got what 10 or 11 goals in the league, only behind Salah in the league. He's very cool in front of goal, I think, Jota. And he's a good finisher with his head as well. So I hope he's fit, actually, and I hope there's no issues. But without him, and if it's only Salah and Mane, I'm going to turn the question to you now again, Giri. But if Bobby is out, Jota is out, Minamino's out pretty much with an injury, Origi is out with an injury, who do you play as the third forward?
Oxlade-Chamberlain. We'll play
So you play.
Oxlade-Chamberlain. We'll play Tyler Morton, okay, in a defensive midfielder role. Hendo and Keita will play in the middle of the
Oh, but
park.
Fabinho is fit, so Fabinho will play, I think.
If Fabinho is fit, then he plays. Okay, if he's not
Yep.
fit, okay, then let's put the young kids. I mean, at the end of the day, we need to develop. We're not the club is going to go out and spend 100 million on a midfielder. So we might as well develop what we have at home.
Yep.
And I think the other thing he can do is he can adopt what they did in the League Cup game against Leicester, where he played Nico Williams as a right-sided winger. Okay, that wouldn't be a bad idea. We should protect our base, until at least the 60th, 70th minute. So he may even play what do you call this? Alexander Arnold. He may even rest him for all I care, because Alexander Arnold didn't play so well against Leicester. Lots of his crosses were going all over the bloody place, and the only thing he did was to ping the ball from right back to left back a few times. Outside of that, there was no real threat. So he may even play what's his name, Joe Gomez, as a right back to reinforce the defense, at least for the first 60, 70 minutes of the game, to keep it going. Because because of the personnel, if we go 2-0 down, Chelsea will close shop quite easily. And when Chelsea closes shop, it doesn't matter who plays. They will just put a flat back line, on the of 8 players, in the box, and they don't mind playing that way. I mean, Conte will do it, Even Tuchel will do it. You see, so we need to make sure it stays competitive for as long as we can afford it, and then we throw in everybody, in the 60th minute. But I think Chelsea also look a bit leggy. The last month hasn't been really good for them, because the players.
But I always think when Chelsea are in that situation, when they're coming off a very difficult run of games and they play at Stamford Bridge, especially a big game like this, they normally come out. They normally come out all guns blazing, though.
They rise. They're right.
I mean, that's a really bold.
They got enough resources.
That's a really bold call by you, though. That's a really bold call by you, though, Gary, to leave Trent out. I would never do that, because I think he's too important to the way we play with his crosses, with his. No,
when you don't have enough forwards, when you don't have enough forwards to create the width, and you rely on Trent to create the width, then there's going to be a huge hole at the back. Yep. And Chelsea have the players to ping the diagonal, from their defense, onto whoever is the runner who's probably be Pulisic or Timo Werner on the left hand side, and they have the speed. Yep. That hole we can't allow, because that has been our Achilles heel, whole season.
But on the flip side, Gary, Joe Gomez played in the League Cup against Leicester and probably was the worst player on the pitch for us,
That's because he played in central. That's because he played in central defense. Had he been played out on the right, had he been played out on the right, it's okay. I don't know. I mean, this is going to be a game whereby I think game management from the beginning is going to be very important. We go to.
I get where you're coming from.
Then the chase, the whole. If you looked at the Leicester game, our psychology was defeated after Salah missed the penalty. You could tell.
Yeah, I agree. And then the Mane chance as well, I thought was big. Before we get to this, is a really good question, Gary, by Simba, and we want you to address this. But very quickly, I had another something I just thought of on the attacking side. If we are missing the attacking players we supposedly are, what about? And guys, leave your thoughts in here. So, what about we go with the Mane, Salah, and Curtis Jones up top? Curtis Jones is back. He can play from the left. He's done it for the reserves as well. Yep. He's a good attacking player. So maybe we go with Curtis Jones joining Salah and Mane. He keeps the ball. He keeps the ball well. He's got good dribbling ability as well. Yep. And he gets shots off. He's got good goals. I mean, he gets goals as well.
Could probably, it might be a good option. Klopp will probably change it to a 4-2-3-1. Okay? Yep. Whereby then you can accommodate Curtis Jones, on the left side. Maybe play Salah up top and play Mane on the right side. And then, you just have either Oxlade-Chamberlain
or Naby Keita
playing your number 10. I think that's what he'll probably end up doing. Don't know whether he'll
Yeah.
start that way. Don't know whether he'll start that way, but that would be the way in which, okay, if you're going to take the game to Chelsea, then that's going to be the way. But we'll have to
I agree.
sacrifice a midfielder for that. We can only do that, okay, if Fabinho is playing. I think if Fabinho is not playing, then that anchor is not there, so he won't play that system.
I agree. One other contentious position is I mean Costas is nailed on because Robertson is suspended. But in
Yeah.
centre back, your thoughts on this? Would you go with if Lukaku plays, if Lukaku starts, would you go with Van Dijk Konate or Van Dijk Matip?
I think we should go with Konate because
The height, right?
you need the
Height,
you need the physical
speed.
presence. You know,
Yeah,
he's a
I
bit
was going to say the
slower,
same thing. Yeah,
less adventurous, but I think he's quite solid. Okay, when you need a block, and if you're going to have that, Van Dijk is a bit passive this season. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
he
yeah,
just
yeah.
saunters around. You need somebody to just go and knock into people and stuff like that. I think Konate is much better fit for that. But we'll have to
I think
play
he's
a
brilliant
deeper
as
line.
well.
If we play Konate and play that very high line, we're asking for trouble. Because
Yeah, so
his ability to read, okay, and move backwards at the same time is not as good as Matip and Van
You,
Dijk.
I want to say this as a neutral over here. Now, watching you both of you, talking about the game and how Liverpool is going to start, how Chelsea is going to play. I think I can't wait for the game to start. To be honest, based on the both of you all talking about it,
No,
it's really going to be a mouth-watering clash, man.
no, they're going to be very interesting battles all over the pitch, right?
Yeah,
That's what makes it
Correct.
it's
Yeah.
brilliant, and that's why I brought up the question because I think Konate is like a beast, and maybe if Lukaku starts, he's perfect. He goes straight into Lukaku, and then you have Van Dijk sweeping at the back of him,
Correct.
But he gives you that physical presence as well, and he's a lot more aggressive in the challenges,
I
which
Correct.
think the constellation. I think it's one thing Liverpool fans can be very happy about is that Lukaku don't really rise up the occasion during these big games. I've not seen really perform in those big games, but I think after the interview and if he does start, I think probably he has a point to prove. So never know.
wait and
We
watch.
don't know.
Let's address this question. Like a great question. I want you to address this, man, because I speak about it quite openly as well. But what are your thoughts on this? Liverpool fan here wishing that Liverpool had a war chest like City every season. Klopp tends to be working with one hand tied behind his back as opposed to Pep. And we seem to be bargain hunting. In fact, we're not even bargain hunting. We haven't really bought over the last couple of years as well. So what are your thoughts on this?
Even Everton has a bigger war chest than us, okay, and not going very
Yep.
well for them. But I mean,
Yep.
United, okay, have a bigger war chest than us, okay, which they have spent, okay, it's not going well for them. So having a
that's not
war chest alone is one thing, but having the right personnel to make the footballing decisions, the acquisition decisions, the contractual decisions is more important. Okay, having just a war chest, okay, and just going out and, I mean, look at what has happened to Barcelona. They had a great, huge war chest, squandered it. So I think, okay, I'm going to say that yes, it's wonderful to have it, and I agree with Simba that it's like having, you see your neighbor drive a better car, and you go to a restaurant, you order something, then you see the guy on the other table having something better. I mean, I just don't want to be envious, okay, of what Man City are doing. What they're doing, I think, is criminal, okay. But that's not for me to make a decision over. Obviously, if they have passed the financial fair play test, okay, whatever that might mean, so be the case. But I think we have a squad that is properly managed. We have a club that is properly managed. It's managed responsibly. Okay, we are profitable, but you need to know that the nature of the businessmen behind Liverpool Football Club, okay, is such that they are very risk conscious. That's how they made their money in the first place. So that's the kind of people. I mean, we've had terrible people owners before. The Gillett and Hicks, okay, almost ran us to the ground. Okay, so yes, I mean, it'll be nice if tomorrow, okay, John W. Henry and his people say, okay, we are giving Klopp 200 million, but giving Klopp 200 million doesn't mean he'll spend it, because Klopp, like, you can spend, even if you spend, okay, a lot of money, Klopp wants to. Every player has a bedding in period because the sum of the team and how the team plays. So just spending the money doesn't mean, okay, that person is going to fit in. You see, so I mean, we're a peculiar club in that sense.
Actually, I agree with you on the fact about the war chest. You don't need a war chest. Acquisition is important. I think we have made a lot of good acquisition decisions in the club as well. We've got the right people making the purchase. I think what's disappointed me over the last couple of years is the fact that we're not even replacing one player for one player.
Yeah,
That's the ask. It's not a much of an ask. I mean, when we had Lovren go, we went into a season with two
yeah,
injury-prone defenders, and then we screwed our season up last year. This season, we have
yeah,
gone in again. Gini Wijnaldum, key part of the team, left, and yeah, Klopp has obviously covered up and said we've got 8 midfielders. I agree, but a lot of them are injury-prone. Gini Wijnaldum played pretty much every game last year, so for me, it's
yeah,
just a simple thing. We're not asking you for a war chest, but replace someone who's been such a critical part of the
yeah,
team.
yeah.
That's all the ask is, and I think
I,
that's what
I,
really
I, I
disappointed
I
me with
agree
this
with you.
transfer.
I think the team is aging. Number one, if you look at the age of Salah, Firmino, Mane, the guys who have been central part of the team for the last 3-4 years, they are all hitting their 30s already.
Yeah.
I think the whole squad needs to be replenished over the next 1-2 years. Now, this is a task in itself. Something which Alex Ferguson did very well by creating cycles and cycles and cycles. Okay. Not to say that every time Alex Ferguson did it, he got it right. There are many times he got it wrong as well. But there was always that replenishment over every 4-5 times, especially every time Man United lost or Arsenal took it from them. Okay, there was constantly, you can tell over the time that Fergie was there. I can tell you at least he had to do it about 3-4 times over the period.
Hmm.
He had
Yep.
to rebuild about 3-4 times until it really became very tiring to do. Now, rebuilding the squad as a whole is not an easy thing. You just can't go out there, even if you have a war chest of $1 billion. You go out there and you buy 11 players. Doesn't mean they're going to play in the system that we play. So we are
Yeah.
caught by our own system. You see? Whereas what City does, it's not easy what Pep does, because when they pick a player, they pick a player who has certain qualities as well. Do you understand? And they have enough
Yep,
in their squad where if somebody gets injured or somebody gets COVID, they can cover the gap up very quickly.
yep,
Okay. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's not a fair fight, because one is a business and the other one is just being run, okay, by an oil oligarch, okay, with endless
yep.
amounts of resources.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
run by a
so it's not,
country, right?
it's not even I mean, the fact that we are competing with them itself says a lot for us. The fact that they are only 12 points ahead of us, okay, says a lot about the rest of the league.
Yep,
For them to have to pay so much, okay, to get this, means that everybody else is also doing a very good job.
yep.
Hmm.
No,
So
fair
I
enough.
wouldn't be.
I think Siva has got a good point here. I mean,
Yep.
echoes what you said as well. Great. A squad that ages together is a bit scary, especially when you're not replenishing it regularly. It can end. Can lead to an end of an era instantly. That's my only gripe. Like I said, I'm not asking them to spend City levels of money, Chelsea levels of money,
Correct.
but spend as much as Arsenal do, maybe, or spend even as much as Burnley do. Not Burnley. I'm not going to use Burnley. Burnley is horrible, actually, but spend as much as even a mid-tier team like Aston Villa, for example, does. That's the
Correct.
ask, which has
Correct.
not been there. And the replenishment. I mean, we lost all hope of the league last year when we didn't sign a replacement for Lovren, in my opinion.
Correct.
And this year, it's kind of that, because as good as Thiago is, he's injury prone. He picks up a lot of injuries.
Yep.
Naby Keita picks up injuries regularly in that middle of the park. Jordan Henderson is aging. He picks up injuries. James Milner is 36. He picks up injuries. You can't be just relying on kids to run that midfield. So again, I think it was negligence, because you're wasting. The problem here, Giri, in my opinion, is you're wasting good Klopp years. Klopp is going to go soon. If you don't take
Yeah.
advantage of when he's here, what do we do after he goes? And I think you got to maximize the
But,
years
but,
he's with
but,
you.
but, but even Klopp is not the kind of guy who will go to management and say, I need 6 new players. He's not that kind of guy. Because even if you gave him
That's
6 players, he'll say, okay, you guys fit the system first before I decide that you play.
yep,
So, we are caught by that situation as well.
yep,
I mean, I don't think FSG has not invested. Whenever they have invested, it's the right choice. You
yeah, I
see?
agree.
And
Yeah,
they won't just buy a player for the sake of buying a player, because
yep,
they
Yeah.
have a coaching staff who give them this kind of advice. So if there's anything, it's because Klopp is not asking. You see,
I
and
don't
I
think I
think
don't think Klopp wouldn't ask for a replacement for Genie or Lovren. I think that one. I just feel that one is it's a single player, it's not six players. The other thing is, uh, I mean, I know FSG have spent, and I know their model is good. They spend on good players, but I'm yet to see them spend a sizable amount in any window, because the sizable amount they did spend on
yeah,
Allison, Fabinho was actually money recouped by Philippe
very
Coutinho's
easily.
sale. So that's my concern. I'm yet
Correct,
to see them actually make a drive
correct,
and say,
correct,
okay, listen,
correct.
this is the amount of money we haven't spent for 2 years. We're going to spend that money that was spent was not their
Yeah,
money. It was Philippe
but it's
Coutinho's money.
also
So
been
that's my
it's also been a very difficult 2 years for businesses around the world.
yep,
Because
Yep.
of
fair point.
COVID.
Yep,
So I think from a corporate standpoint, they may have to sit down, reconcile some of the losses, okay, and some of the gains over the last 2 years before they decide to inject that kind of money. I mean, I think we as a club are profitable, but
yep,
if we just use our profits to buy players, we wouldn't be able, okay, to sustain it. You see, as a
yep,
business model. So there has to be some kind of capital injection. And remember, they're also doing the extension to the Enfield Road end now.
yep.
So there is, I
I think
wouldn't
I
say,
think that I think that I think that might be to a certain extent covered by the sale, isn't it, of some of the shares to the, I think, was it Red Ball?
to LeBron.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think some of that. I think some of that is coming
Correct,
in from that. Yep.
correct. So these are actually business decisions. Okay. And
Yep.
whilst I think it's nice if we had a watchers, okay, I just don't think, okay, we are the club that's going to, where the holding company injects cash into the subsidiary in order for the subsidiary to acquire players. That's never going to happen, because they also got a
Yep.
board up there. They also got shareholders. You see, what we are not doing is we are not living on borrowings, as was the case under the last
And oh yes, of course. Yep.
Gilliam. So we're not leveraged. You
Yep.
see, and everything that we earn right now, to a large extent, okay, goes into funding what we currently have. So I
Yep.
mean, in fact, bigger than the, I think the discussion that's been going on over the last 1 2 months is, when is Salah going to sign his contract?
Yeah. Exactly. That's a huge one as well, isn't it? Next, they're
Okay? But you
saying it
must
has to.
remember,
It should.
once you give Salah 500,000 and you break the whole salary structure, then you're opening
Yep.
yourself to a real huge can of worms. I mean, I've seen clubs implode under these circumstances.
Yep.
See? So I'd rather, okay, whereby we tell Salah, I tell you what, okay, you want to earn 500,000 and you want to go to Real Madrid sometime, give us another season and we'll sell you. Go earn your money there.
Yep. Yep.
Or let him run down his contract. I mean, that's what we did with Genie. You
Yep.
see? So, and agents play a role in all this. The destabilization of a club is not the doing of the club or the player. Sometimes it's the agent who does it. So I'm
Yep.
Yeah,
glad that
yeah.
there's in the club insofar as this is concerned, because it could be a lot worse. You see what's happening at Manchester United with Cristiano Ronaldo. You see what's happening at Chelsea with Romelu Lukaku. These are huge investments. Huge. I mean, Romelu Lukaku was a former Chelsea player whom they sold and had to buy back at a premium.
Yep. Yep.
Same
Yep.
thing, okay, with Ronaldo. So these are, I wouldn't say these are the best business decisions, but they may
Yep.
be very good commercial decisions. I mean, Ronaldo is probably prepaid, okay, he's whatever they're paying him with the sale of shirts. I don't
Yep.
see that happening
Definitely.
with Lukaku. So when you go and spend 80 million, 100 million, and remember, when you spend 80 million, you're not just buying the player, you have to pay his salary.
Yep.
And an 80 million player, okay, the salary has to match. So you're talking about at least another 40. Your entire cost ameliorated over 5 years will be to the tune of about 120, 140 million.
Yeah. Agreed.
Can we afford
Agreed.
that?
I mean.
We go and
I
become
mean. I mean.
extravagant. We can't.
I mean, I think fair to say Liverpool's very, very well-run football club, and
Well
we're just
run.
gonna have to see. I think the next summer is critical. I think there has got to be business
I
done,
think
because
so
even the
too.
squad is aging. I think it's absolutely critical. I mean, Keshav, great point. We have to start off on the front foot. I think it's true, because I think Liverpool, the start is very important. If they start off poorly, normally they tend to have a poor game, so they have got to start
Yeah.
off quickly. I think,
Yeah.
and then that they got to set the tempo basically. Lakshan has got something interesting here. I didn't know about this. I don't know, Lakshan. I don't know. Maybe you can correct me here. I thought the COVID case was Jota and Firmino, but it might be Keita. If it's Keita, then we're missing another midfielder. So I mean, I just need to clarify this. I'm not sure. I think there's a lot of not enough clarity about this yet, about who that actually the third player is. Minamino might be able to make the bench if we are short on numbers. I think here he could make the bench. And he could be a key player, actually. He's been scoring goals of late. So, yeah, Allison has COVID as well. I'm not sure about the Keita and Jota. Is it Keita or Jota who has the COVID? Lakshan, it will be good to hear from you on that one as well.
Meantime,
I
guys,
think I,
since
I think I accept Ram's point. Okay, the way this is going, it may be called off last
I
minute.
mean,
You never know, because they'll have to take a test before the game. They
yeah.
have to take. They have all
there
got to take
it
a
could
test.
be it could be a likely scenario because it's safer that way. But they should come up with a decision like soon, because the match starts at 12:30 Malaysia time, correct?
Correct.
So you got like barely 6 hours or so. So I think they should come up with a decision like about next hour or so,
And,
hopefully.
and
But
not just that, man. It's so difficult for the
yeah,
fans. You got fans coming
yeah,
in from
yeah, it
Liverpool
is,
for
it
the
is,
game
it is,
into
it
London,
is.
etc. It's a
Yeah.
whole mess, lah. But anyway, just getting back to the game itself, Giri. As we sort of wrap up the conversation about the match and we get to your prediction soon, I want to get your thoughts on Chelsea as an opponent. Who do you think are the principal threats, and where do you feel? What are the areas you're afraid of from a Chelsea perspective? Where do you think they can hurt us most?
Yeah, I think we should just cut off that passing diagonal line out to their left wing, because whenever they have that opportunity to hold the ball on the left wing, and you've got their runners like Mason Mount, like what's his name, N'Golo Kante running in. I've always feared that about Chelsea, because I think Mount and N'Golo Kante are two of the best midfielders in the English game right now. So that's the only part of, and they've got, I mean, they're quite a huge team. So set pieces,
Yep.
they're a pretty huge team, okay. So their set pieces, okay, are very crucial, and I think we should be very cautious not to give away unnecessary free kicks, unnecessary corner kicks, and those kind of things. I think if we just learn to keep the ball, move it around, because they're a huger team, bigger in size, okay, they will tire a lot faster. And I think that's what we need to do.
Are you referring to when you said the diagonal ball? You're referring to the Trent position again, like basically the gap, the area between Trent and Matip, or Trent and Konate, for example, that area, right, which teams have been looking to exploit regularly this season.
Absolutely, because we play a high line, because Trent is up in the wing there, so there's a huge hole at the back, and a lot of teams have figured that out about us already. So they play. I mean, the question is, how brave does Chelsea want to be? If they're going to play with a front three, okay, then that front three has to stay up front all the time instead of dropping down to defense. So I think the best way for us to play this Chelsea team is to keep the ball. Just keep the ball for the first 60 minutes, okay, and don't concede too much possession to that, because they've got a formidable team.
I mean, my fear is actually, when you talk about that position, apart from Mount, there's another player that I fear is actually Christian Pulisic. I think he's the kind of player who can take advantage of Trent going out of position, for example. He's good with the ball. He's very tricky on the ball, and he's given Trent some nightmares before as well, actually, Pulisic. So
correct.
I mean, great point by Simba here. Brentford brutally exposed this fact. Yes, you remember the Brentford game where they completely exploited the Trent, and they overloaded that flank. They overloaded it even for crosses coming in, and they tried to exploit.
I could see that happening today. With Chelsea. Yeah,
I think that's our only Achilles heel. But the problem is, if we cover that position, then we take away from our team, okay, one of the strongest points, which is Trent. You see, so exactly. I mean, this is one of those. It's one of cost benefit analysis, lah.
I mean, it's a risk reward thing. I mean, great. Lakshan has got something very interesting here, guys. Breaking by Lakshan. Great point, Lakshan. Thanks. Lukaku will not be in the squad to face Liverpool, according to the credible David Ornstein from the Athletic. I think he's going to be dropped.
Thank you so much, Lakshan, for the update.
Great update, and to be honest, I'm glad he's not playing. I mean, he's a threat.
I'm sad that he's not playing, man. I'm sad he's not playing.
I mean, all said and done about Lukaku, he's a threat, so it's always good.
That's why I'm sad. Oh, man. There goes Chelsea's goals.
Great question for you, Giri, this one. I'm a big fan of Pep Yinda, so I want to get your thoughts. Klopp not on the bench today. Obviously, he's out.
I love it. I love it, because, while the whole Liverpool fan base, okay, wants to see Steven Gerrard, okay, take over from Klopp, I don't want to. I want Pep Linders to take over. I want Gerrard to cut his teeth further, another 4 5 years or something, okay, with some other team. But Pep Linders, okay, he will seamlessly move into what Klopp has done and take over. I think he will make a fantastic manager
I
because
agree.
he's
I mean,
learned from the best.
and it brings back the old Liverpool way, the boot room way, isn't it?
The
The
boot room,
succession
yep,
planning,
absolutely.
You know, you just smoothly transition into Pep, who's already there as the
Absolutely,
assistant manager for a number of
absolutely.
years.
I've got 100% confidence in what Pep can do. And
One thing for even the viewers to note: if you haven't caught a press conference with Pep Yinders so far, please go and catch it. He's brilliant in a press conference because he's very open.
absolutely,
He talks about tactics, he talks about the game, and he comes across like a very intelligent and knowledgeable football guy. So if you haven't seen
Yeah.
any of his press conferences, go and check it out. I think he's a top draw coach.
But it's a
Hopefully a
one.
top man.
It's one to look forward to when Pep Linders face off Pep Guardiola, right? It'll be Pep versus Pep. See who's the
Pep
better
was
Pep.
just Pep.
Who gives them a
That would be an
pep talk?
interesting one.
That'll be quite interesting. Yeah. So
Another
so
one,
what's
another one very
yeah
quickly. Another one for you, Giri.
yeah
So I mean, apart from the fact that teams Chelsea could look to exploit Trent, is great point by Mambang here. We could look to exploit Alonso because Ben Chilwell obviously
absolutely,
is out, and
absolutely.
Alonso, in my opinion, good going forward, but he's a real, he's a real. What's the word for it? But he's not great at the back line. He's not great defending. I think, and I think he needs
Absolutely,
depth at the back. So I
which
think,
means Salah has to play really wide right
yep,
because only Salah will have the speed, okay, to capitalize on that space that is created. Which is what our tactic is always from Van Dijk, okay, over the top, long diagonal to Salah. It's our standard thing. So
yeah.
if Alonso keeps pressing up, okay, this is where it's going to be. But Salah has to be sharp.
I mean, very interesting, right, guys? Just talking about it, you get so excited about the game.
Yeah.
Battles all over the pitch. I mean,
I
can
really
Salah
can't wait for the
exploit
game
the
to start.
gap?
After this, I hope they don't. After this, I hope they don't postpone the match.
Yeah, what a shame. It really built it up, isn't it? And Salah up against Alonso, but also Salah up against Antonio Rudiger, who I think has been one of the top centre backs in the
Fantastic.
league this year.
He's a fantastic
And
defender.
that's going to be one hell of... He's got pace, he's got power, and I'm a bit worried about that because, I mean, he seems to do a good job against Salah. I think he's a brilliant player, centre back, Rudiger. So it'll be a very interesting battle, that one as well.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, the middle of the park, right? When we talk about Jorginho, Kovacic, Kante, possibly one or two of those three up against the likes of Fabinho, Henderson, possibly a Naby Keita or a Oxlade-Chamberlain. Really interesting battle that would be. Or maybe a James Milner. Maybe he put James Milner in today as well for the experience.
I think Milner will play.
Yeah, I think it could.
He's
It could
very
be
good
Milner
goals.
to help cover for Costas as well,
Correct.
and then the experience he brings in with Milner and Henderson
Correct.
together. Really interesting.
Correct.
Great fun fact, guys. Pep Yinders, the only Pep that has won the Champions League with an English club.
That's a good one.
Thank you, Simba, for
That's a good one.
that fact. I didn't know
Thanks,
that.
Simba.
Pep Guardiola, not so great after all. Go ahead, Ram. You had something.
No. I just wanted to say, with of course now that Kante will be playing for Chelsea, as we have spoken about it many times, Harry, you and me, we have said Kante takes like he's playing a two-man's job. Do you think he's going to be able to do that today against Liverpool? He's going to pull off that feat.
Yeah.
Or he's going to be
I think N'Golo Kante is one of the best midfielders in world football. He could play in any team.
Yep.
It's just that under Tuchel, his role has become a lot more defined than before.
Yep.
Before he used to be a kind of a box to box. He used to carry the ball through midfield. He used to get into the box on the other side. Okay, and I think Tuchel has defined his role. So he's more of now a dominator in midfield, keeps the ball for a while, and then releases it to the wings. Because Chelsea is all about the width. I mean, just like us too. So, and remember, he now plays a fairly deeper role because of Lukaku. Okay, Lukaku, you need to feed the ball to him for him to hold it outside the box. That's their standard mode of play. He plays with his back to goal. So Conte's role of carrying the ball is no longer what he does. Okay, he's to get it back and quickly move it out. That's what Conte does very well. So in that sense, okay, we are okay. So long as Lukaku is marked properly and tightly, we are fine. If he plays.
What about
if he doesn't play?
Kante at Liverpool?
No, Kante at Man United.
I would take
Not
Kante
Liverpool.
any day of the day, any time of the day at Liverpool. He'd be brilliant in one of those number 8 positions, actually, N'Golo Kante.
Absolutely.
As well, so.
I think we missed the boat.
Ah,
I think we missed the boat with him. Okay, a long time ago.
Yeah, I agree.
okay.
I mean, Naby Keita has all the ingredients, right? But he's obviously an injury-prone player, lah. So that's that's a separate topic. But he has all the ingredients to be a really good
Absolutely,
number 8. It hasn't really worked out
absolutely,
for many
So,
reasons.
absolutely.
Yeah,
so
consistency.
guys, let's just know it because the game is so much of hype, so much of preparation going into it. Both of you all are really enticing the whole match that is coming forward. So let's just move on to the predictions, shall we, Harry? When you
Yes.
start the predictions, go ahead. What do you think, Harry? What's gonna happen? What's gonna be the score?
Actually let's ask Giri first. Giri, what are your thoughts, man?
Right,
Give us the prediction for the
Giri.
game.
3-2 Liverpool.
Ooh,
Oh,
what a firecracker of a game! You've
Yeah,
just got everyone. You've just whetted everyone's appetite.
yep. Because that's how many mistakes everybody are going to make tonight.
okay, okay. Looks like Harry is a bit frozen at the moment. So, so basically, I think he's definitely going to go for a Liverpool win. If you ask me what's my prediction, I think I'm going to go with a 2-1 Chelsea win. I mean,
Oh,
I'm going to go with
not
2-1.
that, not
And I think
not not that that result helps Manchester United.
it doesn't, but to see Liverpool lose
Yeah.
again, it's nice. It's nice, as much as possible. So I think, yeah, Chelsea 2-1. But Hurry, I think Hurry probably Hurry, you're back. Okay, so Hurry,
I'm
what's
back.
your
I'm back.
prediction?
Sorry, guys, a bit of issues with
No
connectivity, but
problem.
I'm gonna go with 2-1. 2-1 to the Liverpool, 2-1 to the Reds. I think we will edge the game. I think there's going to be a Salah goal in here. And I'm actually going to throw my hat in and say Jordan Henderson will get a goal here as well.
Oh, lovely.
Jordan Henderson. He's been getting goals this year, actually. Some really good firecrackers. So I fancy him to get a goal. Mambang has gone 4-1 to Liverpool. I
Oh,
hope that is the case.
oh,
I hope that is the case. But this one seems like a great shout, Lakshan. 1-0 Liverpool, Van Dijk header. Ooh, that would be nice.
Very plausible.
That is very, very possible.
from a
Keshav
corner.
has
Huh?
got 4-1 Liverpool. I wish it was this easy, but I mean, Chelsea guys, we're not playing Norwich here. We're playing Chelsea at the bridge, man. Careful
You
with the
mean,
predictions.
Harry? You mean we're not playing Manchester United?
I knew
Yes,
it. I
exactly.
knew you were going to say that. I just
We're not
knew
playing
Giri was
Manchester
gonna say
United at
that.
Old Trafford here, guys.
Sorry,
We're
Ram.
playing
Sorry,
Chelsea.
I just had to.
I saw that coming the moment the score
The
started.
reason
Okay,
the reason I
fine.
didn't say Manchester United, Giri, is because that would be like if the prediction is 6-0, 5-0, 7-0, 4-1. I say, oh no, United.
Actually, for this year,
Scoreline, like,
actually for this season, I'm not going to say very much to Manchester United fans because we really need them, okay, to beat City, to beat Chelsea when they play. So I'm going to be supporting them,
for those games, like, just for those games, like.
especially because they're no threat to us. So we might as well
Yeah.
support them to become a threat to us.
Oh,
Understand?
Yeah,
No?
my
exactly.
God, I feel that it was such a lovely statement. At the same time, it burned me. Oh,
I'm sorry, Ram. I'm sorry, Ram.
It's okay.
Great,
No worries,
great,
no worries.
great point by Simba here, guys. Liverpool edges by a goal. Hopefully, the league still needs to be interesting. And Chelsea goes to Etihad. By the way, Chelsea are playing City, I think, in a week or 2 weeks' time at the Etihad.
Yeah.
They
And
could
hopefully
win
they
though.
go there and they get a win. They win that game, and then it just turns the whole season around. Because then, if Liverpool win today, and again, it's a big if. The gap is 6 points. Chelsea goes to City, gets a win. Let's say it's down to 3 points. If Liverpool wins, and then Liverpool plays City at Etihad as well with a 3-point gap. So it can go
Anything
anyway.
can
So
No,
I
there
mean,
could be
there are lots
there
of
could be a
ifs and buts,
possibility.
but it's big.
That could happen. I mean, it will be interesting for the season if that happens.
Yeah.
And we all want that to happen. But yeah, I really hope so. But if City takes go all the way, I mean, they are on a ride right now, 11 wins on the trot. Their confidence are super high, so even that could be a problem as well. So
I do
let's see.
I do hope other clubs take a brave approach to City though as well. After watching the way Arsenal played, and even to a certain extent the way Leicester played them. I know they got beaten heavily, but they scored 3 goals against them.
Yeah,
And I hope
yeah.
it takes a brave approach. The way Arsenal play there, if teams go out there and actually try and have a go in the right way against City, you never know. But right now it seems like every team just lies down in front of them. So that's the problem. But we'll just have to wait and watch.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's been an absolutely brilliant, epic
Hurry,
preview
wait.
to the game. Go ahead, Ram. Yeah.
We need to talk a little bit about United and Wolves because I'm a United fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
I
need
forgot
to.
completely about that.
Yeah,
is that game going ahead?
Oh yes, it's going ahead. It's on Tuesday early morning Malaysia time, so it's 1:30 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Is it at home?
morning? It's Old Trafford. Yeah.
Okay, let's have a quick, brief chat about that game then, guys. Ram, I'm going to
Yep.
ask you, man. You can do the talking here, man. What are your thoughts on this game?
Oh, very confident actually after the Burnley match. So I think it was a good home win against Burnley. So now we're playing Wolves, but to be honest, I do know Wolves as a boogie team for United. So it's not going to be a game that United is going to score free flowing goals. They're probably not going to win this game 2 or 3 nil. It's going to be like a 1-0 or a 2-1 sort of a thing where it's going to be so edgy, and I know both teams are going to have a go at each other. So that's what I see happening. But Wolves, I'm pretty scared of them though. They're quite a good outfit
They're
in my
they're a good
opinion.
side. They gave us a tough game. I mean, we had
Yep.
Divock Origi to thank to come up with a winner because they're really good
Yep.
defensively. Wolves this year, actually. And to be
Yep.
honest,
Yeah.
Giri, I want your thoughts on this, but I've had this chats with Ram quite a lot recently. I'm not convinced about Ralph Rangnick in general because I've looked at his history, his stats, etc., etc. Yes, he's been touted as the inventor of the Gegenpress, etc. But I mean, he seems like a guy who's a good coach to coaches. So he mentors and coaches well. But when it comes to management, actually, he's not really managed any big egos, any big teams. I think he's won one title in his huge
Well, I mean,
managerial career. So I'm
he
not
does.
convinced about him going in there and managing these egos.
Maybe not, but I think the problem is a lot deeper in United. I don't think they have players, okay, who are hardworking enough, okay, to fit that style anyway. I said this
Exactly,
a
spot
long
on.
time ago. So,
Yep.
I mean, unless he alters his methods and his approach towards the game to something completely different, okay, to fit the individuals that are currently playing, because Manchester United, they were very talented individuals, but I don't think they work hard enough. And if you want to
Yep.
play a pressing match, okay, fitness, and you don't just one person press, you have to collectively, the Gurgen press is a collective thing. I just
Yep.
don't see United. I mean, when United tried to do the pressing against us in the last game, they got hammered. So
Yep.
I
Yep.
don't
Yep.
think we don't do it anymore. And I don't think United, if I was managing United, forget the egos. Okay. I just think that given the players that they have, that is not what's going to help them. I think United are much better off playing a very tight, deep defensive game and counter attacking
But
because
is
they
No,
that
I
have.
is
mean,
that then is that then the right appointment to bring Rangnick in for 6 months?
I,
Rangnick is a stubborn guy. He's known to be very,
yeah,
very stubborn, sticks to a 4-2-2-2 pressing
yeah,
system, never changes his ways. Is it the
yeah.
right decision then to bring him in for 6 months, knowing he's that kind of a guy, and you don't have the players during his short 6 month stint to be able to play the kind of football he wants? Because I remember even when Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool, I
It
mean,
took some
obviously
time.
there were improvements. Yeah, it took time.
Took
It took a
time.
pre-season actually because
Correct.
you bring in your players, but you also need a pre-season to get these players
Correct.
fit to
Correct.
play that kind of system. I know when he
Correct.
first came in, we picked up a lot of hamstring injuries, a ton of
Correct.
hamstring injuries,
Yeah.
because the players are not fit enough. They've not had a
Correct.
pre-season to be able to cope to that kind of football. So I'm questioning the logic behind bringing in someone like Rangnick only for six
No,
months.
I think they needed to steady the ship. You know, I
Yep.
don't think the
he
United
was the
had
best option at that
I
point of
think
time.
believe they're going to win the league, but they needed to steady the ship because there are a lot of egos there. Okay, we just I think for them they are a profitable organization even without winning anything. I mean that's the truth.
Yep.
Because they're commercial end of things. Okay, the Glazers do it pretty well.
Yep.
You see, so and if that's the only thing that the Glazers are interested in, the bottom line and what the books look like, then I mean, if I was a Man United fan, I'll be upset.
Yeah,
But
of course. Upset. I'm really
but you
crazy
can't
upset.
say that they have not invested in the squad. You know,
They have,
they
they
have,
have.
they
But
have, they have spent
I
a
have.
lot of money on the squad. The only question is that the squad is not the kind of squad that you would use if you wanted to have a Gegenpressing team. People, Ralph Ragnick, Klopp, and all, okay, can take a small team and manage it. But
Yep.
you need to, and we are running out of managers who can fit the Manchester United
Yeah,
way of doing things. I mean, they've already
but
experimented. They've already had Jose Mourinho. They've already had Louis Van Gaal. You know,
yeah.
so they've already had all these premium managers
No,
in
I
the
think I think
past.
I think one guy they still haven't tried, who I think would fit the DNA to the T.
Yeah.
Steve Bruce lah.
They-
Honey, I'm gonna throw a punch at you, even though I can't do it physically, but I will do so when I actually see you in person.
Why not a double act like Steve Bruce and Gary
No,
Pallister
no, come on,
joint
come on,
managers or
come on.
something
No,
like
no,
that?
no, no, no. I mean, seriously, do not give me that nightmare, Harry. As to this, I'm already having a few nightmares. But you know what? To be very honest with you, on the opposite, I'm quite happy with the way Ragnick has taken over the squad so far. Apart from Maguire's stunts once in a while, but since he has come on, I think Maguire has become a little bit better in terms of how he was before. A little bit better. I wouldn't say the
Now he's,
best.
he's moved up lah.
Uh,
Maybe from a 80 what from a two pound fridge, he's become a 10-pound fridge or something like that lah.
you
There's
know,
been a slight
but
improvement in his valuation.
but you must, but for me, watching the games, I've seen that there is some sort of, he's trying to create that identity. He's trying to create an identity right now. So what I see is a positive as a United fan right now this season, and compared to last season, we are so far unbeaten since Ole left. And of course, we're running in. So I said this before as well. So that's a good positive to take, from these games. And coming to these games against Wolves, or such games like Wolves, or Leicester in the future, what have you, or against Newcastle previously, we have to make sure that we don't lose these games away from home. And at home, we have to show that we're going to win these games. So coming off from a 3-1 win against Burnley, I think the players are going to be highly confident that to be able to take on Wolves and win that game as well. So
Great
I'm
point by
definitely looking forward to
Mambang
that.
here. If you remove De Gea, Wolves might get 3 to 4 goals. I mean, De Gea has been brilliant this season. But
Yes,
yeah,
the best player, best player.
quick question for you, Ram. Would you play with Cavani and Ronaldo? Would you start both of them together?
I think I realized this thing was a good question, Harry, because I did realize that when Cavani starts with Ronaldo, he doesn't seem to create an impact as
Okay.
compared to when he's brought off the bench. So I think it's good to start with Ronaldo as per normal, but it's good to actually have that rotation. So I would say it's good to play Ronaldo for a good 60, 70 minutes and then bring him out and put Cavani in. So I think that would be good, because playing Ronaldo and Cavani together sometimes, because of the age, they might not be as spacey as before. So I think that could damper their time going forward. So I think there should be a like for like switch. Ronaldo change for Cavani and so on and so forth. That's what I
And
feel.
one more question, which is I believe Bruno Fernandes was left on the bench against Burnley, right?
He was suspended because he got 5 yellow cards, so he was
Okay,
suspended for
so
the
do you
game.
think he's going to bring him back in because you had a good game against Burnley? I think Sancho played decent. Do you think he's going to bring him back into the squad, or will he be kept on the bench?
I think if you ask me personally, I think it's good to keep him on the bench for now, because what worked against Burnley is something you want to bring it forward. So I think, yeah, it'd be good to start with the same squad. But I do hope that if Bruno is not going to play, I do hope Donny van de Beek at least gets a sniff of game time, because I really am a big fan of him, and I do hope that when Ragnick plays him, there's going to be a better chance moving forward as well. So I think it's going to be a good lineup if he plays. That's what
I
I
think
feel.
it's fair. I think it's fair to say, Giri, that Donny van de Beek is going. La. January window is open. I think he's off. I actually think he's off. La. He probably had more than enough.
I think the entire squad, I mean, their additions have done more damage, okay, to their squad development than actually assisted, because now people like Marcus Rashford, okay, they're being sidelined because
Yeah.
of the egos that you have to maintain. So this doesn't do the whole club any favors. But I don't know.
I can see Rashford and
I'm not
Sanchez
United
starting
fan,
to.
so I'm not United
Yeah.
fan, so it really doesn't bother me one bit. But if
Yep.
I was, I'd be very, very. It's a strange situation to see all the young players who have developed through the academy and come out, okay, and now suddenly, okay, find game time a problem.
I think they're stalling. The thing is with the young players that have come out from United,
Yeah,
I mean, I thought you feel like there's no development after they kind of they
yeah,
stalled a little bit already, which is
yeah.
which is which is going to impact the players. Like, quick one, Ram, before we get to predictions from everyone as well, and we wrap the show up. Who is the one player you fear from Wolves tonight or
Oh,
tomorrow?
I've always been a big fan of João Moutinho,
Yeah,
and of course Ruben Neves as well. So I think both of them do pose a threat.
Yeah.
But I think more so Ruben Neves, because he's normally the one that starts. Moutinho is normally the one that comes off the bench. So I think that's the player. But in terms of strike
would
force,
would, would
Raul
Adama would
Jimenez.
Ahmad would Adama Traore fear
No, that's
strike
the
some
thing, right?
fear especially
That's
with the turn that Harry
that
Maguire has, the slow turn. It
that
takes about 365 days
no,
to turn.
Hurry, honestly speaking, right? You could be right that there could be one player that could cause a major threat. But I've seen him play against United, right? He's been good getting the ball. The moment he makes those runs, he blasts the ball over the bar, or his shot is always off target. So I don't see him as a threat that much, to be honest. I see Raul Jimenez, João Moutinho, and Ruben Neves as a threat. So if we can stop them, it'd be better. Yeah, I think so. That
I
would
just,
be
I just
what I
hope,
think.
I just hope your words there come back to bite you, and Adama Traore picks up a hat
I
trick
hope
again.
I hope
Never,
it
never.
doesn't. I
No.
hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. But yeah,
Let's get some predictions around very quickly. Ram, prediction for United Wolves.
I'm gonna go with a 1-0 win for United.
Yeah, fair enough. What about you, Gary?
I think it's going to be 2-2 draw.
Okay.
I'm actually going to go flip. I got no skin in the game. I want United to lose anyway, so I'm going to go Wolves to win this by 1-0 on the break with Adama Traore getting the winner.
In
Yeah,
the
Hurry
90th.
always will use. Hurry will make sure those words come and bite me. Hurry, I know you will make sure that happens.
I'm gonna record that bit and keep playing it again and again if it
Oh
happens.
man.
But anyway,
Oh,
guys,
man.
it's been an absolute pleasure, Giri, having you on the show. Ram, over to you, man.
Yep. Yeah, Giri, thank you so much for joining us. It's been
Hey,
really, really awesome
thanks,
having
guys.
you. Oh, no worries. I would want to have you on again for sure in the future. When
No
Liverpool
problem.
face
No
United
problem.
again,
No
that's going
problem.
to be.
No problem.
Yeah, that's going to
Thanks
be
for
awesome.
having us and KL Copites on your show. Okay, I'm sure
No,
the
exactly,
members
exactly. I mean, Gary, great
will
having you.
enjoy
Thanks
this
for
show.
joining us on the show, and it's always great to get your insights, la.
Yep.
And I
Yep.
mean,
Yeah.
we obviously love the collaboration we have with yourself and
Thank you,
KL
man.
that we've had. So we want to keep that going as well. Uh,
Yep.
awesome. Happy
Right.
New Year to you again, Gary, and all the
Happy New
best
Year.
for tonight's
Thanks.
game, man, and
All
all the
right,
best
man.
for tonight's game as well.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
So,
Thanks,
Ram, you want
guys,
to sign off?
yep. So, guys, once again, it's been an absolute a cracker of an episode today. With Giri on the show with us. But I have to say, guys, if you guys agree with me, I think both of them, Hari and Giri, has built up the game quite well, and I'm quite excited to watch the game. So I can't wait for that to happen. So in the meantime, of course, this is episode 105. Do send us your comments. Do like us. Do subscribe to our channel. And of course, we will see you again soon. So signing off from the plot Malaysia. This is the show for the fans.
By the fans. Ram. Hang on a sec, bro.
Yeah. You're gonna play Liverpool song. Come on, please don't do that. Don't do that. Ah!
To the rain.
I hope it rains.
Okay, guys. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. All the best for the game tonight.
Ooh.